This is a Rosemary Sacramento production from the Wired Up TV team. Enjoy.
How's it going, my people? This is your boy Wired Up, and welcome to another episode of Wired Up TV. Hope you guys got your hands on the steering wheel and keeping your eyes on the road, handling everything you guys got to handle, no matter what it is, positive, negative, don't matter. Guys, keep your hands on the prize, keep your eyes on the prize, and your mind on the game. Now, my people, I want to get right to it. As you guys can see from what I'm showing you right now, the famous picture of the man behind Tupac, or I'm sorry, in front of Tupac while he's walking the MGM September 7th, 1996. Everybody thought this man was Devin Clark, Devon Clark, whatever, however you pronounce his name, but he is a hero to a lot of people because he helped Pac fake his death. Now, we are here to prove that this is not Devin Clark, okay? This gentleman here was hired by Tupac, and he did have a critical part in helping Pac fake his death. Now, as everybody was wondering, you know, the famous video where you see him walking with Frank, and it looks like he's shaking him. We showed you already the man that handed Pac something, right? There was a lot of critical people involved in Pac faking his death, right? But this man in front of him had his part too, okay? And that's why it looks like Pac is shaking Frank, because he kind of is. He's trying to get everything intact. He's making sure everybody's where they're supposed to be. Now, this man right here, Tupac, has been on him for a while. He is the same man that came out in the Holler If You Hear Me video about 4 years prior. And there he is, right there. As you can see him, guys, that's the same dude, the same guy. Now, we have not been able to get this man's name yet, okay? But we are working hard at doing so, all right? The Wired Up team is doing the research, and I have been making some phone calls and have been talking to a few people. This is why this video took me a little bit to do. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna drop it yesterday, but I decided to do more research, see if I can find something on this man and put a name behind him, and I'll give you guys more information on who this guy is. Unfortunately, I could not do that, but we are still on it, and we have not given up. But one thing we can assure you guys is this is not Devin Clark, okay? This man here was in the Holler If You Hear Me video and has known Pac for a while now, okay? He knew Pac for a while, for years prior to the big plan of September 7th, 96. Now, one very important thing that a lot of people have to realize is the question always, you know, comes up. Well, you know, what did Devin Clark do? Where did you find him? Exactly how did he use him? And this and that. What you guys have to realize is that Tupac met Devin Clark. Okay, he met him before. Okay, he didn't just. A lot of people think he just met him a couple of months prior to September 7th, 96. You know, as you guys have known, the theory is that he met him while he was playing the part in Gridlock, where he's playing the heroin addict musician. That he met him at a methadone clinic, researching how heroin addicts react and what they do. He took a liking to Devin Clark because he was a strong man, even though he had HIV, AIDS, and he was a heroin addict living on the streets. Okay, so they became friends and they talked a lot. Okay, that is wrong. Tupac Shakur has been knowing Devin Clark even longer than he knows this gentleman here from the Holler If You Hear Me video. Tupac has known Devin Clark since they were young kids from Baltimore, okay? We've been researching very deeply. Like I said, I could have dropped this video yesterday, but I was making a lot of phone calls, trying to get a hold of Layla Steinberg's people, trying to get a hold of one of Pac's homeboys from Baltimore. I'm trying to talk to some people, but I could not get much information about it, except that a lot of people remember Pac having a friend named Devin, maybe more than one, okay? And the Devin Clark name rings a bell, okay? Now, Tupac knew Devin Clark from Baltimore when he was a kid. Now everybody goes, well, how do you know this, Wired? Where'd you get this? Why are you saying this? Pac met him a couple of months before September 7th, 1996, while he was researching the heroinetic part for gridlock, right? This is the most plausible explanation that has been told as of yet, but it is wrong. You know, people say, well, why? We talked about we talked about Devin Clark, we talked about this, we've talked about that. We've talked about it, but like I always say, nobody has ever went out and solved it. Every Tupac alive videos I've seen about Devin Clark, yes, they talk about it, but they never go out and try to solve it and try to see who he was and what. We're doing that. We're going down the street. We're talking to people. We're doing our research, all right? We're getting out there doing our due diligence. Now, this is my proof. Okay, besides what a lot of his family members and people and his friends were telling me, this is something else that Miss Rosemary Sermano, great researcher, found for us. Part of the Wired Up TV team. Okay? Credit to her. Much shout out to Rosemary. Now, this is what it says here. Okay? I want you guys to read this closely. Now, his final resting place is listed as Hancock County, Indiana. His social security number wasn't registered. Issued until 1988 in Maryland. Where was Tupac in 1986 or 1988, guys? He was in Baltimore, Maryland, attending the Baltimore School of the Arts. Okay? Did Tupac have a friend from school or the area named Devin Clark? And this is what we're talking about, guys. Yes, he did. We are believed he had two friends named Devin. Okay? The name Clark did not really register to these people because they usually know people by their first name. They've heard Tupac talk multiple times about a friend named Devin, especially his sister, from what we're understanding, okay? Now, with that being said, my friends, my people, my folks, okay? With the research we've been doing and things of that nature, we have now come to the conclusion that Tupac knew Devin Clark from before 1996. And we think that Pac might have ran into him again in 1996 or late 1995 even. And that's how they got reacquainted. And that's how Pac started telling him. Because this man knew Pac from back when they were children. Okay? And Pac probably started telling him, look, man, I think something's going to happen to me. Okay? I've had more than one person tell me this. And I have one person that has told me for sure that they're going to try to kill me. Guys, we have came up on something good. Now, like I always tell you guys, okay, the truth always comes out, right? Stay tuned for the next episode of Wired Up TV when we show you guys the proof of how Tupac knew somebody was going to try to kill him. Stay tuned, guys, and always stay wired up.